This video will include 2 panels from the episode Hunting Ground, and then I'm going to explore the subject of anti-diluvian witches. Previously, the warthog made his plea to the god of the hunt. He wants to pursue the man who interrupted his ceremony. In response, the giant reaches for his dagger. This is a close-up, but to make sure that all the elements were in their right place, I drew everything immediately surrounding the hand and hilt. Maybe overkill, but I wanted to get it right. The design of the dagger is very intentional, but I'm going to save that conversation for when we get closer to Tubal-Cain, the blacksmith. I know, guaranteed, that keeping track of 6 fingers and 6 toes on Nephilim characters is going to trip me up eventually. You have my permission to call it out, so that I can fix it before it reaches publication. But since you're here on the early side, as a wink between us, just type the number 6 in a comment and I'll know what it means. And now an instant of explosive action. I wanted this moment to be overwhelming, an attack coming from an enemy more than twice your size, faster than the brain can register. The warthog loses an arm. As the image progressed, I kept wanting to get closer and closer to the important information. It used to be painful to erase or hide things I'd spent time figuring out and drawing, but I've learned that it's always worth it to get a stronger image in the end. And with that, the god of the hunt gives the warthog his answer. In the last video, I hinted at a potential roadmap for this project. This time, I brought visuals. At the time of this recording, this series is a hobby. It's an independent project that I work on in my spare time. But the more I've uncovered over the past year, the more I've realized just how big this project could be. As one man, marching along this road for a few hours a night, a few days a week, I've covered a huge distance. But given the amount of ground I want to cover, I know I've barely begun. This is too much project to keep to myself. My incredible patrons, YouTube subscribers and members, commenters, social media sharers, book buyers, have all given me critical equipment. The support they have shown has not only humbled me, but it has inspired me to fight harder than ever. And because of them, I can license quality music, collect reference material, and take the time I need to sharpen my artistic axe to make this project the best it can be. I've already reached the point where I don't have to travel alone. I've been able to hire an editor who frees up an entire evening so that I can focus on creating. If Dead Gods can garner enough attention and enough support, I'll be able to take this project full time. Instead of 6 to 10 hours a week, I'll be able to give this story 50 to 60 hours a week. This would mean that instead of an episode every couple of months, they'd be out every couple of weeks. I'd also be able to start live streaming sessions. Then there's sponsorship. With enough viewers, I can connect with sponsors that my conscience will allow me to work with. That unlocks the potential to add even more to the team. On the comic side, I'd love to find people who can make better 3D models than me. Eventually, I want to bring on another artist who can draw entire episodes, then maybe more. On the video side, it would be incredible to work with an animator who can inject even more life to key scenes. Maybe even find a composer who can create a Dead Gods suite that can be used in all future videos. On the support side, having someone devoted to wrangling social media clips, even overseeing merch, would be fantastic. From there, who knows? Maybe there's a publisher that wants to pick the project up. A lot of people have mentioned tabletop RPGs. Eventually, there may be enough momentum to put something on screen. I don't know where it'll end up, but I believe in this story, so I have to give it a try. For now, I'm here. It's a good place to be. I can still cover a lot of ground. With your help, I'm excited to cover more. Now, a few videos back, I drew a first pass of an Atlantean dive suit. I took the same base drawing and used it to design an anti-diluvian witch. They will vary greatly depending on where they are and who they serve. The Watchers, rebellious angelic overseers on the earth, gave secret knowledge to mankind. That sounds benevolent, but secondary reference texts, like the Book of Enoch, make it clear that it was like intentionally handing a loaded revolver to a group of toddlers. Their hope was that mankind would use that knowledge to permanently remove themselves from creation. Some of the human keepers and propagators of that secret knowledge are witches. In this story, I'm defining witchcraft as using dark spiritual means to achieve unnatural ends. The Book of Enoch says that the Watcher, Semjaza, taught enchantments, charms, and root cuttings. Combining various plants and other ingredients, they can create a host of concoctions, some for pleasure, some to kill, and some to open the mind. She wears the symbol of the eye on her forehead to symbolize the enlightenment they promise. However, the mind-opening experience they actually offer is more like opening a door to a den of hungry lions. They use the deep power of the written word in the form of spells. They cover their skin in them to protect themselves from their own masters and to enhance the efficacy of whatever malevolent deeds they're committing. This witch has charms woven into her matted clumps of hair. She's also bandaged up her arms. Between working with nefarious potions and the other vile deeds she's been involved with, no amount of spell work can preserve the human body from the consequences. This witch is relatively new. She might be 25 years old. I also wanted to draw a first pass of what a witch with a couple more years of experience might look like. This one's around 35. Witchcraft demands a heavy toll. The slurry of pharmakia in her veins has left her atrophied. With what time she has left, she passes on her dark secrets to new initiates, and crafts whatever monkey's paw mixtures her master demands. Okay, this is a weird one. The story may never call for this to be seen, but since I still consider it to be the early stage of the project, I'm taking opportunities to explore the edges. If I know where those edges are, I might never show them, but I can build a world with them in mind. In the video, Demons plus Dinos equals Dragons, I covered some of the metaphysics of disembodied Nephilim spirits. They can inhabit the bodies of people and creatures as long as they're not occupied by something more powerful. However, they are able to traverse the place beneath. In the book of Matthew, Jesus says that when an unclean spirit goes out of a man, he goes through dry places, seeking rest, and finds none. In Luke, when Jesus confronted the man possessed by a legion, they begged him that he would not command them to go out into the abyss. For dead gods, think of it as the anti-diluvian backrooms. Watchers and Nephilim spirits can traverse this awful place, communicating swiftly over vast distances. It's one of the many ways they've been able to dominate the earth. Human spirits can end up here too. This was one reason the Watchers gave humans the knowledge of root cutting. Consuming pharmakia pulls back the veil, allowing them to access these dry places. In this unnatural world, they can receive direct instruction and guidance from their false gods. Here, they can appear to mankind in any form they choose, from radiantly beautiful angelic beings to playful jesters to living nightmares. At the height of their dominance, this landscape would be bustling with activity. Demons traveling to and fro, vulnerable human souls seeking knowledge and power, or simply running errands as spiritual carrier pigeons. It is, however, a perilous place. The demons that can entice and inspire are always leading people towards destruction. The free gifts are never actually free. And sometimes, they simply get bored and treat human souls the same way they treat them in the real world. Can a soul be eaten? Likely not. But can they be traumatized so badly that it causes physical harm to their actual bodies? Probably more likely. In this image, a witch who consumed a tea made of roots and other plants arrives in the abyss. It's unfortunate timing. Nearby, a Nephilim spirit has grown bored of some other travelers, a couple of sacred geometry acolytes. They were seeking insights into their plans for a new temple. If they ever wake up again, they will return empty-handed. The piles of sand in the background are arranged in a radiating circular pattern. There's a dead city in the distance, a crude mockery of the real city the travelers currently inhabit. Beyond that are some towers, shaped somewhat like swords. I'm not going to talk about those in detail yet, but for those familiar with the source material, I was thinking of them as marking the location of prisons. The sky is meant to reflect the surreal, shifting nature of this place. Also, I have to admit that for years now I've been trying to find a good reason to use a poured paint motif for a sky. When I was a kid, I used to watch the original Spider-Man cartoon on Saturday morning. Some episodes got borderline experimental, especially when Spider-Man ended up under the Earth or on another planet. They'd use these wild, abstract watercolor paintings as a backdrop, and I found it haunting. And there we have it, a glimpse at one of the far edges of this setting, the dry places. A terrifying layer of reality best left alone. Thanks for watching.